But actually, let's watch it with no audio. I want to point out something first. I want to point out
Okay,
something when you
that
watch
I
it with
can do.
audio.
Okay, here we go.
If you can get that little thing out of the way, yeah. And watch her right hand. Watch her right hand and her. Oh, you can't see it there. Where there it is. There we go.
Well,
There we go.
she's
Yeah.
cuffed.
Yeah, but she's cut. But she is angry. That is, if you look at her face there, you can replay that without the. Sometimes it's better to play without. You look at her face. That's just not one of upset. There's an anger there, like what have I done? Now watch for a second. Watch the anger. That's anger. Okay, that second moment, that one
That
second.
could be anger
Is just-
/ regret because she didn't testify. I mean, you're going to second guess that no matter what. If she had testified and been found guilty, she would have been thinking, I shouldn't have testified. So she doesn't testify. She's found guilty. So she's thinking, I should have testified. I mean, you're not going to convince yourself otherwise. That's just human nature.
But when we play the whole thing, when we look at the whole courtroom, Mr. Zellman, who I liked, okay, I mean, he, I kind of liked him, okay. He had his left arm around her at her back, right? The paralegal was touching her. Who was, and I'm big about this because I watch this, and I know jurors watch it all the time. Jackie Fulford wasn't touching her or consoling her or anything. They're just like this. And that tells me that there was some issues between the two of them, even though they had the relationship. And I do think that at that moment she's saying, oh my God, why did I listen to you? Because, the hand's not over here. The hand goes over where Fulford is, right?
Right.
Where Fulford is. So right. She's boom. So if you look at that.
To elbow her? You think she's giving her the elbow? I told you. I told you.
Well, I think all that to testify, I mean, I look at that and it was just a brief second in regard with that. But to me, that was really telling. Okay. About
Colorado Yali says, is that how you pronounce that? Yeah. Fulford held her arms down. Okay. So I think I've got some audio for us this time.
Well, that's
as follows as the count one
Are you hearing that?
of the indictment,
yes.
First-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
Okay. So
if she's holding her arms down, that's even worse. Then that's even worse.
Let's see if we can. I'm just going to do this. See if there's some. Like I said, this is the Zapruder film. Forward, back, forward, back. Let's see where we first see the first reaction. Oh God. Okay. So that's at 7 seconds of 13. Boom. So there's a reaction. And she's saying, "Oh my God!" That's an "Oh my God."
But then she
one of many.
Else. Then when she says something else, when her face goes the other way, then it was when her face gets angry. She says something else, and that's what I tried to make out today, and I couldn't. Here we go. Through up. That's anger. That's anger. Okay.
Yeah, and it sounds almost like
arms
like she's pursing her lips, almost like an F or something like that.
Yeah.
Like right there.
But that's when her hands go up. I don't think Fulford could be home, but she's up with that. She's angry. Okay. She's bringing her arm up with her cuffs, and she's angry. To me, I mean, that's what it's a main thing I noticed.
She took her hands toward Zellman, or is that that's Fulford right there?
Fulford. Zellman actually Zellman actually had his one hand on her back, and all. But
I can see the side of his coat there.
It's anger. I think that's anger. I think that's oh my God. But I think then that's anger. There, that's anger. Oh, look at that.
It's angst. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Who knows what's driving her? But
so
I most would suggest it's not guilt.
And she says something there, and I try to, I was trying to learn my AI and run it through, but then they take you through all these outside things because she says something different there.
Yeah, you could just see it. It's not an "oh my God," although there's a couple more of those. Yeah, it's shorter than that. It's sort of truncated. Let's listen to it again just for fun.
And as follows as the count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson?
Yeah,
You see the handcuffs on her hand. That's her handcuffs. Those are
just before she does that, she has her head right like that, and she says something through her teeth.
Right.
Like right there.
Right there. Right. And see the handcuff. You may have that may be full for his arms around her, but that's to hold her cuffs. But her hand is up, and she's pissed.
Yeah.
I mean this. And what
and
is
she does
pissed?
move in the direction of Jackie Fulford,
Right.
who we know, at least in the representation to the court, that it was Jackie that had the most direct contact with her on the important decision about whether or not to testify.
And I think that she regrets that.
I think she does now, but that's what I'm saying. It's Monday morning quarterbacking to keep our football theme alive here. Of course, if you don't testify and you're found guilty, I should have testified. If you testify and you're found guilty, I shouldn't have testified.
Okay, somebody wants to know where the sound is. We can play it against the sound. We just going back.
We're
and forth.
We're just going back and forth here and
trying to analyze
frame by frame.
As follows, as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
There's the second, oh my God. So there's something in between. It's like a really or something or right there. She's saying something like really or
I should have. I don't think it was the F word, even though she is.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
I mean, it could be as simple as really. It could be. But
it could be. Why she handcuffed? The interesting question, because usually in a jury they're not handcuffed. But remember, she's in jail. They knew there's going to be a verdict.
After the fact, yeah. I mean, obviously, you don't want it to be during the course of the trial. You're going to be prejudiced by, there's no cardigan in the world that could overcome the effect of somebody in cuffs.
Right.
But after the fact, hey, we have a verdict. Okay, because she would be in those cuffs in the back room wherever they have her staged. She's in the cuffs then. They only take them off when they bring her into the courtroom. It's not like she's wandering around the courthouse without being shackled.
Right. So and then she'd be clanking in, as we always called it. Somebody wanted to know, and it went past by. Do I think she's guilty? Yeah, I think I expressed on the air that I thought the prosecution had proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, and I thought the way they did it was, it was when we listened to Kappelman, and she talked about it, to get all these little details and to tell that story. It was very, very hard, very difficult, because at every trial it kept expanding and expanding because the investigation. And then I really thought that they showed that she was the capo of the family, that she was the Don Gottis, or as I call him, Don Gotti. I've been calling them both because I've been calling her Ma Donna.
So I do also believe she was guilty. I think they proved their case. And this is one guesstimate. She said she's a bitch. Who would she be referencing, though? Sherry Schreiber. Who would she be referencing? Because in and of itself, without context, I don't know where that fits. Who would she be calling that?
Yeah, or something.
I don't know.
Keep going. We also have the audio, which I don't know if you pull it. Just the plain audio. I stripped the video off it.
And I did not pull that out just because I could, probably play it without this picture, and you'll get the same. I can't tell much of anything from that. You really, I felt, needed the visual to match it up with the sound.
Okay.
That didn't play well on radio. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, except that I was.
That could be. That's that I didn't really think about that. It wasn't. I wasn't thinking jury foreman.
Who was a jury
foreman? That's a good question. That's a good question. But Oasis Cat said maybe Georgia. Well, that's, I guess, if you're going to target somebody, I guess maybe you target the prosecutor.
All right, so while we're talking here, I am going to take my decomposing.
It is kind of unsettling. Julia.
Well, let me tell you, last year when I was at the Jets game, I got put on the Jumbotron or whatever you want to call it, just because I was wearing the Jets green lipstick.
A lot of Jets fans are green just because of the way they play.